Now we will see how the lately new technique UV DTF, so it's not just plain UV printing on directly onto substrate or material, but it's UV DTF. We will now see how that is done. Basically what you have to do is to print the image onto the film, transparent UV DTF film, also known as film A. So let's go step by step and we will see how it's done and what do we need to do and how to apply it to the substrate. So now this is the now we are printing the position. So that's basically if you want to have some precise position on the film. But if you know doesn't have to be exact. If you know where the image is gonna fall on the film, or you don't wanna use it 100%, you can do without this step. But this is basically you print the position, and then if you wanna use some smaller parts, you can place them onto that position. But if you are using the whole A3 or A3 plus size, this step is not so important. But now we will print just one. That means the image will be placed just on one position, not the whole A3 film. This is printed on on paper, and after that the printing on A film is it's gonna be one side of the A film has the glue on it, so that would be the size that we will be printing on, and we will be printing we don't print the mirror image in this case. So one of the rare opportunities where we don't print mirror when we print on some other film or something similar to film. So this is a plain image with no mirror, printed on paper, and now we will repeat that printed on film A. Alright, so we got this image, and also has some white ink inside because we need it. We're gonna place the image on some colored material, so not on the white background, so we have to have white ink also inside. This would be the next step. So you have this transparent film with the glue on one side covered with another paper. And so now that we have position printed out and we want to use smaller film, like this is A4 format, so we fixed the film on the table. So now we are printing on the film, and we are using the we're printing the same time the white and the CMYK. Although you can go into 2 passes and print everything as ordinary. First you print the white, then CMYK, but in this particular moment we are using 1 pass only, printing in 1 pass with white and CMYK, and nothing much more interesting to see that there. And you will see how do you place the image on the item when it will be printed out, so later. And this is what we've printed. So you see when you know where the position of the first image is and you print close to the edge, so you can see you cannot overprint the film that you're printing on, because you know where the first one will stand. So this has to be cut into 6 pieces. It's actually A4 format, and it will be applied to the item we wanna print. This is the item that we will be placing the printed image on, and what you have to have is usually this is called film B. It's some kind of a transparent film which will take the image off the film A with the glue, and it's good to have it transparent, and this version is not transparent, so it's a bit harder to position the image on the item. So it's better that it's transparent, but it has to have a bit of glue on it to pick up the image. So we are using at the moment we are using this untransparent film, so it has a better glue than this one, but usually this one is more easier to position the image on the item. So how it's done, when you're taking off the film B, it actually has to be at the very when you're taking off the film A, it actually has to be under very narrow angle, as you can see here. So we do it like that because we don't want to tear off a part of image also. This is why it's better for the film B to be transparent this film has a little bit of transparency, but not much. But still, you can see at what angle you are placing the image on the item. And what the advantage is with this kind of printing is that actually you don't have to be that much careful or pay that much attention to how you place the item in the printer. And also some printers don't have the ability to print thicker items. So when you have your image on film B, you can then place it however, position it on the item however you want. There's no possibility of making a mistake, and therefore making some prints on the item that are not usable along with the item. But you can see right away where the image is gonna end up, so you can place it, position it at 1 millimeter from here, 1 millimeter from there if you want. So that's kind of very precise positioning. So that's the advantage of this DTF UV printing. And also when you remove the film B, also the narrower angle is more easier to remove the film, and this is has to be pressed also pretty hard to the surface. And then when you remove film B, this is what you get. This is how the end product looks like, and it's pretty resistant to the scratching. So all in all, very good. So this is one more this is the advantage that we've mentioned before. Besides the positioning of the image on the item and having less possibility of bad product, the third advantage is actually this printer has manual lift, which can only be lowered down for about 6 centimeters, I think. And as you can see, this flask or any other item is somewhere 7 or 8 centimeters. So that would mean that we cannot fit this flask inside the printer, and that's why we use printing on the film method. So film for printing the film, we don't actually have to have any lift at all to place the flask inside the printer. And actually we can print if we, in this case, we printed 6 images on one A4 format film A. So not only that we are faster, but we don't have to have this lift at all. This lift won't suffice for this item, for this flask, but when you use this method, we can basically print any thickness of the item we can think of on anything, because we are only printing film, then we are applying film to the item. And one more advantage to this kind of printing has to be mentioned is that actually when you do this kind of printing with UV DTF, you are actually much faster with applying the image. If we are to print this flask has two sides, so that would mean that we have to print only one piece each time. So for each image we would have to place the flask on the table and print it, then turn it around, then print again. And how we do it here, we actually print 6 images in our case, or on one film. So that would mean 3 flasks done on both sides in one print. So as you can see, that would mean that all these images can be applied to the item much faster than printing each one at a time.